closest friends. But we always try to orient it so it's we do something constructive. So we actually had a live screen uplink between the party and troops in Afghanistan. So, you know, the guests, I mean, it was like Kevin Costner and Winona Judd and Steve Young could talk live to them and sort of brighten their day. And we raised money for Navy SEALs.
That's cool. So if you just talk about a little bit about your book itself, sort of the writing process and what you're talking about in the book.
Sure. So the book sort of traces my life, where I started. My grandfather ran Hillcrest Country Club, which is where all the movie stars hung out in the 50s. So he used to, you're so young that you won't know these names. He used to have play gin rummy every day with Groucho Marx and George Burns and Jack Benny and Danny Kaye. George Burns took me to my first game and sat on Marilyn Monroe's lap. And so then it switches from there up to Berkeley, where I'm student body president in the late, in the tumultuous days of change, and Ronald Reagan's governor. So we have some classic confrontations, and, which end up, which he later gave me a presidential commendation and all the rest. So it moves from there to talk about the inception of sports law, because there wasn't any when I got started. I was a dorm counselor in an undergrad dorm. They moved the freshman football team into the dorm while I was going to law school. The first player picked in the first round of the 1975 draft was one of those players. His name was Steve Bartkowski. He's a quarterback that went to the Falcons. So I had just gotten out of law school and traveled for a year, and he asked me to represent him. So it was, and there was a World Football League. We got the largest rookie contract in NFL history, first time out, and it eclipsed Joe Namath and O.J. Simpson.
Wow.
That first experience, we arrive in Atlanta at the airport. There are Klieg lights flashing in the sky like for a movie premiere, and the first thing we heard was, "We interrupt the Johnny Carson show to bring you a bulletin. Steve Bartkowski's attorney, Leigh Steinberg, have just arrived at the airport. We switch you live." So I was sort of stunned. And I saw how athletes were the movie stars and celebrities, and I thought, how am I going to take my values? My dad had two core values: treasure relationships and try to make a difference in the world in a meaningful way. How am I going to take those values and turn them into a business? And so I asked that each athlete go back to the high school and set up a scholarship fund or do something to retrace their roots. At the college level, a number of the players have endowed full scholarships at the colleges. So Troy Aikman and Eric Karros at UCLA, or Steve Young at BYU, or Drew Bledsoe at Washington State. And at the pro level, I challenged them to find something in their own lives they'd like to make an impact in.
Yeah.
So those were charitable foundations, and we so work done. The former running back from Tampa and Atlanta just put his 131st single mother into the first home she'll ever own.
Wow.
By paying the down payment and having Home Depot out